Hello everyone. Today I'll be reviewing the book called Skin in the Game. Now, the central idea of this book is the title Skin in the Game, that one should feel the consequences of the actions that they take. This might be at an individual level, but more specific to the book, at an institutional level. For example, if an individual is in a position of power and makes a decision, should of course reap the rewards if things turn out well, but also face the consequences. This is essentially the central idea of the book, and the author highlights this in a range of domains and fields. Uh, this book was partially published after the 2008 financial crisis, and the author does highlight the problem of not having skin in the game for bankers, economists, foreign policy advocates. Just to highlight the point about skin in the game, he gives the example of bankers who hardly did feel the consequences of the 2008 crisis because they lacked skin in the game. They still got the payouts, yet the society and at large and wider economy had to face the consequences. This again applies in foreign policy domains, where an individual might advocate policy or an intervention. However, they themselves do not feel the consequences of the failure of such a policy. He contrasts this modern phenomena with practices throughout history. For example, giving the example of Roman architects. The Roman architects back in the day had to actually sleep underneath the aqueducts and the buildings that they built with their entire family. Now, this ensured that the architects actually did a good job of building and engineering well. The work is also interesting in that it covers a range of subject, from philosophy to medicine and from literature to economics. So the scope is quite wide and does cover a range of fields. A common criticism of the book people mention to me is that the idea of skin in the game is interesting, but it has very little application to real life. I would seriously disagree with this criticism. The concept of the book, Skin in the Game, if internalized, does reveal several areas of potential threats and inequities. For example, any institution that is led by individuals who do not feel the consequences of their actions does highlight a certain risk. Now, one can get thinking in this mode, and one would see this all over the place. Another complaint is that the author attacks several individuals and several professions throughout the book. The book is almost combative. The author does do that, but I personally found it quite entertaining. Now, this is, of course, a issue of personal taste. The final criticism that I did agree with is that the book can get a bit repetitive by the end. Central idea being that skin in the game is repeatedly highlighted in different fields. I do not think it was needed to that extent. I think it would have been cut down by, say, a third. However, I would say this is a fantastic book, and this is an original idea, something quite unique, and it would really get you thinking. So I highly recommend this work. This is again Skin in the Game by Nassim Taleb.